You can hear me fine now, right?
I got you fine. Hey guys, I'm joined today by Dell Newman. He is a lifetime commercial fisherman up in North Carolina, in particular in the I guess it's the Swan Quarter area there, Dell.
Yes, sir. Born and
And
raised.
he is. I've got a lot of questions about if you guys have been following this local news coming out of North Carolina about a proposed trawling ban in the area of North Carolina, particularly around Pamlico Sound area. And this is a very bizarre thing because this bill originally started out to help with people who wanted to catch flounder. Is that right, Dale?
Well, it was a bill to help with flounder and red snapper and one other species. And I don't know what it was, but it was. We've seen the amounts of those fish increase dramatically in the last few years, and recreational fishermen nor commercial fishermen can capitalize on it. So it basically increased everybody's quota by an amount, like doubled it or something. And it was a 4-year pilot program. They were going to just see if it worked. And if the stocks kept building, then it was okay to actually for the rec guys and us to have more fish. When it got to the Senate last Tuesday, I think they tagged this trawl ban in it. They put it in the Ag Committee and voted on it that evening. I mean, they just that fast, and tried to run it through the House on Thursday. So they really wanted this thing to be alive less than a week before it was going to the governor.
That's the crazy thing to me about this. What they're trying to do is they had a bill to increase the flounder and red snapper season, and everybody was in favor of that. And a bill, I think, originally started back in March, guys. Originally in March, North Carolina started this. And then, like last week, just before this thing gets ready to go to vote, they go, oh, we want to shut down all the trawling that goes on up to and including half a mile off the coast of North Carolina. And, Dale, you can tell us a boat that works inshore is so very different from a shrimp boat maybe that works off the coast.
Yes. I have a fish eyes here, and the people that work at my fish eyes, I have one boat that may be able to work in our ocean a day or two a week. Now, the people in your area have to understand one thing about where we're at. We don't have that bunch of shallow water in the ocean. Our ocean is after a half mile off, we go deep, and it gets worse. So it gets really nasty there. And these shrimp are only in our ocean waters for a month and a half at the most in the fall of the year. So you're talking these small boats might get 4, 5, 6 working days a year. And sometimes they wouldn't get that. Even the bigger boats, the big trawl boats, a lot of times can't work because we have these storms come up. And that's the one or two that can do it. The majority of these small inshore boats can't do it at all. They are done. And again, 75% of our shrimp caught in North Carolina are caught in inland waters. But they don't distinguish between the reporting on a half mile out either. But a lot of our shrimp caught in the ocean are caught half mile in because that's where the water is for them. That's where we just don't, our ocean waters just don't hold shrimp like they do in Georgia and South Carolina. Down there it seems like they will stick around a little while. Here they don't. They're gone. They're here today, gone tomorrow. Period.
Well, the small boats that are able to work in those areas on those shrimp when they're available, how many people are you talking about are going to be affected, do you have an idea of the number of folks who are just going to feel this impact immediately?
Well, what's going to happen here is those boats that working 4, 5, 6, 7 days a year, not feasible. Let's be realistic. These boats, so they're going out. They're done. They're gone. These are all people that I equate to a small family farm. Their fathers, their son-in-laws working with them. Their sons working with them. They're working boats that their granddaddy worked. So all that's gone. Then when you get to the dock, all the headers, because we had our shrimp at the dock here. We had grade, all the dock workers, they're gone. The truck drivers, they're gone. The restaurants that serve, these small restaurants that serve these local shrimp, they're going to have to start serving the same thing that Red Lobster serves, or what some of these big chains that don't serve local shrimp serve. And they're not going to get the business because it's not going to taste the same. A conservative estimate I saw today was 50-some hundred jobs in the state of North Carolina. But those 50-some hundred jobs are coming out of communities that don't have jobs to replace them. There's nowhere in the communities they grew up in for these guys to recoup another job. And then when they have to leave, and I saw this, their wives leave with them. There are teachers, our nurses, our people that's working some of these other stuff. They're some of our commercial fishermen. They leave too. So these coastal communities, Hyde County is where I'm from, Swan Quarter, Englehart, shrimp is a very important species to us. This Hyde County, it's done. I hate to say it's going to dry up and blow away. It's not. It's going to survive in some form, but the form it's in now, the grocery stores, the restaurants, and all that, they're done. So when you actually go out further, I think the 5,500 jobs is probably just a tip of the iceberg.
I know we were talking earlier, and you said that tomorrow's a big day for the industry, as you guys have been operating. What's going on tomorrow? Can you tell us a little bit about that and where you're headed?
Okay, this bill originated in our House. So far, the Senate has voted on it. The Senate is what put this amendment in this bill. The Senate is the one that adulterated this bill, not the House. The House sent them a really good bill. Well, supposedly, or maybe, right now it's online to go to a vote in the House tomorrow. And we're doing a rally up there to trying to get our voice across and let people know what's happening, and actually talk to our representatives. We had very little support in the Senate. For lack of a better way of saying this was a backdoor type deal in the Senate. This was something they done without the people that actually introduced this bill were never even told they were going to do it, and they're in the same political party. So it's a backdoor.
Sounds shady. It sounds
deal at best.
Yeah, it sounds real shady.
It is. It's a shady, underhanded deal at best, and we're hoping that our representatives see that and say, no. This is not. This is not good for North Carolina, and it's not. North Carolina has a thriving shrimp industry. It also has a thriving recreational fishery industry. And some of these groups, some of the conservation groups and different things has tried to pit us against each other for years. And they have. And one group points the finger at the other, and it's been detrimental to both of us. And we're actually starting to see some of that change. And I think that's the reason why this is being pushed so hard, is to actually stir the hornet's nest again and get it done before we do actually come together and understand that as groups, we got a lot more in common than we do not. We shouldn't be at each other's throats. We should be helping each other because we all want the same damn thing. We want more fish. I have no problem with somebody coming down here catching fish. I want them to. I want them to enjoy themselves. But on that same note, I want to be able to work and do what I've done my whole life too. And I'm sorry. So yeah, I think this thing is a little bit of desperation from the groups that have been fighting us and painting us as a bad guy for so long. They don't want people to understand we're just people. We're
Well,
honest, hardworking people that just want to live and let live.
you guys heading to Raleigh tomorrow. I know that we have a few subscribers that are up that area. Um, you guys that are particularly in the North Carolina area, if you get a chance to 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 write an email, look up your representative, your senator, and tell them send them an email and let them know, hey, let's let these guys continue the shrimp so we can continue to enjoy good fresh seafood when we go to the coast. And that's another big thing for me, Dale. You know, I don't I don't know if you heard, but down in South Carolina from you guys there, they recently had a DNA test where they went into Charleston and they tested over 40 restaurants there. And out of the 40 restaurants that were there were 4 that had listed on their menu. The 40 had listed on their menu that they were using domestic caught shrimp. There were 4 restaurants that were using domestic caught shrimp. The rest of them were selling imported shrimp, which it's an inferior product. You come to the coast, you want fresh seafood. That's what you want, and especially when you're being kind of hoodwinked into thinking you're getting that product and you're not. That's not a good situation. And
that's what will happen if this bill goes through, because the North Carolina shrimping industry, this bill, some of the supporters of it say, well, you can go outside a half a mile. This bill effectively kills the North Carolina shrimping industry. We will catch no brine shrimp, which is our summer shrimp, and we will catch very few white shrimp. It effectively kills the North Carolina shrimping industry. There's no other way to say it. Like I say, there's no industry that can stand to lose 75, 80% of its income and survive. There's no way. So, yeah, if if you like fresh shrimp, you need to sign it, because you made a comment a while ago. You take Georgia, people like Georgia shrimp. Take South Carolina, they like South Carolina shrimp. North Carolina, they like North Carolina shrimp. That's just the way it is. They want that fresh shrimp to come. They want to know that it come off, and there's no way to make that an assurity without an industry to support it.
Well, I like it all as long as I know where it comes from, and I know that it's as fresh as it can be. And I know that sometimes Georgia has to pull on shrimp resources from other states to supply those shrimp, because not everybody catches shrimp at the same time. A lot of people don't understand that, but they don't. And some states will have years where it cycles and it's not as good as it is in other places. And you have to bring that product in to continue to give customers what they want. So I get that as well. And anytime that you're affecting an industry that's going to affect something that, and I do love shrimp. I got to tell you, Dell, I'm a big fan of shrimp. It's going to affect that. It's going to cause some problems for me. So, guys, if you can, reach out to if you're from that area and reach out and say, let's leave the shrimpers alone. And again, understand that this bill started with good intentions, and then some vampires jumped on it, which is the way I can. If you want to do a standalone bill and get your support for it, do it. But from what I understand, there was no support. There's been no recent data that's been collected to support anything that they're saying to try to get this thing done. And Dale, you might be able to correct me on this if I'm wrong, but that's just the research I've done. It's like a Trojan horse deal, where they're trying to slide something in under a very popular bill. They're trying to slide something on that's really going to affect a lot of people.
They have almost no data to support them. They have no new data. They have old data that supports them. They're using a 4-to-1 ratio on bycatch, 4 pounds of bycatch to 1 pound of shrimp. And that report was done by a group that we called as the Wildlife Federation, one of our I don't even know what you call them, but they hired it done. But they used data from the 80s and the 90s. It was just, and they had an agenda from Jump Street. The last marine fisheries stuff shows we don't hardly have any. It shows actually one of their slides in their last presentation said there is no evidence that there is any correlation now between bycatch and reduced finfish stocks. That is one of their last slides. The SABs, we have a thing here, submerged aquatic vegetation. Oh, and as we talked earlier, I saw the numbers on it today. There's like 100. They closed all those areas after the report come out, or most all of them. There's a very few areas left open to trawling that contains submerged aquatic vegetation. Of 190,000 acres in North Carolina that they identified as submerged aquatic vegetation hotspots, they closed 160,000 acres of it to trawling. So we're not, what they're using for data and what they're saying is so, actually is not. It's right. I say this: if you lose a fight because you're doing wrong, because everything's against you, the data's against you, that's one thing. To lose this kind of fight, lose your livelihood because somebody just don't like you, that's something else entirely. That's I
completely agree with you. Dale, best of luck tomorrow as you travel to Raleigh, and we're certainly going to be thinking about you, and we're going to be sending the word out here on the channel to try to get some folks to give you guys what help they can. And again, I'm sorry you guys are in this thing, and it's come again, shady dealings by politicians, and you wonder why people distrust politicians. Here you go, right here.
It's a prime example of it right here. We appreciate it. We appreciate the opportunity to give make our voice be heard a little bit more, and thank you, and if we appreciate it.
Thanks, Dale. Hey, and you guys be safe out there.
All right, thank you. You too. Bye.
That I'm thinking that the fishermen up in North Carolina they've got a pretty tough fight here, and it's something that's been thrust on them. Let me know what you think. I appreciate all you guys jumping in here. Oh my gosh, Byrne, thank you so much. I appreciate that. If there was something out there I thought that was detrimental, I'd be the first one to say, "Hey, stop it." I don't see this as being detrimental. This has been going on for many years. And keep in mind, these things cycle. You'll have good years where crabbing is very good, and then you'll have years where crabbing is not so good. It comes down. Same with shrimp. Same with fish. A lot of different factors affect how they see numbers in this data. And the only thing I got to say is, Andy Murak, thank you, is people have been catching stuff out of the sea with nets a long time before anybody even thought to write something down. And we're still here. Guys, that's all I got for now. Thanks for joining us as always. Hey, you guys be safe out there.